Trophy at Comcast.net. That's Winners Trophy at Comcast.net. Any award for any occasion. Winners Trophies, 904-6002.
It's time to talk MTCS sports. It's Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA, live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
We're joined by Middle Tennessee Christian School coaches to talk about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. It's time to talk orange and white on MTCS Cougar Corner.
Danny Brewer here on the Cougar Corner. You know, we've got something really, really special this morning that we're going to do. We're going to talk with Middle Tennessee Christian School cheer coach Brittany McCallum. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Coming off the high of getting back from nationals a few days ago.
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that here in just a moment. But the first thing I want to mention is, you know, I'm no expert on cheerleading, but my daughter was a cheerleader. So I understand, you know, people think, when they think athletes, they think, oh, basketball player, football player, baseball player, you know, softball player, volleyball player, whatever. But cheerleaders are extremely good athletes as well. Agree with that statement?
Oh, 100%. It's definitely something that I feel like, which I tell my girls all the time, that, you know, we're the sport that's not, quote unquote, technically a sport, but we have tried to be cheapened in our athleticism throughout decades. But it doesn't negate all the hard work and the tenacity and perseverance and just the grittiness that they actually endure in their day-to-day practices or competitions.
Yeah, because it is hard work, you know. I mean, I understand that from a firsthand experience of seeing, you know, what my daughter went through. She cheered at Smyrna High School and everything, so they weren't at the level that you folks are, because we're going to talk about this. I think, so Middle Tennessee Christian School national champions. That's an accurate statement. That's a very true statement, right?
Yes. As of 4 days ago, yes.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about because, you know, all this is a work in progress. You don't just go to this competition and do your routines and, hey, you're national champions. There's lots and lots of hard work, tireless hours of effort that goes into something like this. So tell me a little bit about the Middle Tennessee Christian School cheerleading success story.
Yeah, so I'm actually an MTCS alum, and so that's why one reason I came back and found my way back to MTCS. Middle Tennessee Christian School is just a very, very special school to me and my family, and I knew when I had children, I actually have 2 boys, so nobody that will ever benefit or be a part of the cheer program, but I knew that I wanted them to be a part of the community that Middle Tennessee Christian School was. And so once they reached school age, I have coached around the state and actually other states into Alabama and stuff like that. I started coaching when I was in college. So I've been coaching about 18 years now, different high school, different programs. And once my kids found their way back to Middle Tennessee Christian School, the athletic director, Jason, reached out and he was just like, we hear you're back. We would love to explore some options with you getting involved in cheer. And at the time, which was 5 years ago, at the time, there was only 9 cheerleaders. They didn't compete. There wasn't much of a skill set that was there. And he bought in. The administration's been great. And for 5 years, these girls have put in, just extremely amounts of developmental training, endurance training. My girls on the average practice day will run around 3 miles a practice. They just, between that and running their routine over and over, and the skills and the weightlifting and the weight training that goes into all of it, that the average person probably doesn't see in that 3-minute routine that they put on the floor. So it's been a 5-year work in progress. We started with just a high school team competing. I had 22 that first year, girls that didn't know the difference between lines and spaces on the mat. They'd never competed, to just building and grinding and going 6 to 7 days a week, 10 months a year, and each year getting better and buying into the process more. The families and the community have been so supportive to that. We added a middle school competition team, and then 2 years ago we brought it on down to the elementary since we are a K through 12 school. Why not feed the kids that are in your hallways to help get them ready for that next level as soon as they can? And it's been a beautiful thing to be a part of.
Competition cheer is no joke. And if for those who have never been to one of those competitions, you're 100% right as far as the weightlifting and the time that goes into it, because when you think about the tumbling skills and all that, it's really pretty awesome to watch.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yes, they have to train and condition just like any other athlete would do. Jason Spray, our strength and conditioning coach at MTCS, I mean, he is time and time again floored by not only the strength and skill that these cheerleaders put into the weight room, but just their dedication and perseverance to like that tenacity that most people don't see happen from cheerleaders. So we're real proud of them.
So let's talk a little bit about this national championship team. I think you've got a good mix of all classes. So, and I think I see that there's 7 seniors on the squad. Is that correct?
Yes, 7 seniors. They're a real special group. They actually started in our rec program in first grade. Most of them, out of the 7, 6 of them have cheered at Middle Tennessee Christian School since first grade. So they're a real tight-knit group.
So when we talk about, I want to kind of rewind for just a minute. You told me that you were a graduate of Middle Tennessee Christian. What year did you graduate from Middle Tennessee Christian School?
2006.
2006. Okay, so you've seen some transformations there at that school on campus that are pretty incredible. I mean, when you think about the facilities at Middle Tennessee Christian School, it's awesome. I mean, the basketball gym, the baseball and football fields, all that stuff. Talk a little bit about the campus that this has become.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different from when I was a student there. I mean, I graduated in 2006, and the only sports at the time were basketball, which was housed in the same school as the middle school and high school, sharing one hallway, and the elementary being in one hallway, and the gym set in the middle. We didn't have a football team at the time. We, cheer at that time, like I was always real passionate. I did all-star and competitive cheer too. And we had a coach that's actually, like my high school coach is actually on my coaching staff now. She's still there, still teaching, and I get the privilege of coaching her daughter, who's one of our juniors. And so we competed, never nationally, but we competed, locally in Kentucky-ish area there. But outside of that, our tennis team, we had tennis, but there wasn't many athletic programs. But to watch it grow into what, athletically it has grown into, between the new gym, the new high school, the new football field, our baseball field is, just beautiful. It's something I'm excited about my 2 boys being a part of for years to come. And they are both they have athletic interest, and so they're 5th and 3rd grade, so still very young. But just from where it was in 2006 to where it is in 2024, I can't speak how proud I am of how far the school has come.
So you mentioned something that I want to touch on your staff is your old coach. What kind of that's kind of cool right there when you talk about the full circle of being able to be involved with the coach that coached you.
Yes. It's very, very cool. Our coaching staff is made up of 10 women, 10 women ranging that carries us from 3rd grade through 12th grade, and we all have different roles and different skill sets. But yes, so my coach in high school coached clearly me, but she was also a chemistry teacher. She is still a chemistry teacher, and has come back, and she's on the high school coaching staff with me, and it's beautiful. And then we've actually hired 2 alumni that graduated. They were on one of our first competition teams that I was able to coach. They're MTSU cheerleaders now, but they've been on our staff now for 2 years, has hired alum coaches that work with our elementary kids. And it's a beautiful community to be a part of, that kids want to come back to, that coaches want to stay a part of. And it's a vision that has, that I feel like I'm walking in a dream every day.
Walking in a dream. That's good. That's really, really good. Good stuff. When we talk about what you just said, people wanting to be involved, wanting to come back, I think they call that athletic programs, right?
Yes. Yes.
And when you have a program, that's something special. Having a team is good, but having a program is where it's really at. And I want to talk about some of the younger kids you have, because I think there's like 15 freshmen and 9 sophomores. So if my math is right, that's 24 kids that are freshmen and sophomores in your program. That's just that the young kids want to get involved with this. Man, how exciting is that?
Oh, it's so exciting. It's actually one of my assistant coaches who has been, my right hand since day one, and really, she has pushed and challenged me in so many ways, and this program is where it is because of her belief in not only myself, but all of it. And she told me 2 years ago when we were walking out of nationals, she was like, I'm calling it now. The best bet we have to win nationals is when our current freshmen become freshmen. They were 7th graders at the time, and that was our first year doing middle school. They're a talented group of freshmen. We take a lot of pride in the fact that the kids in our program are only trained by us and within our school building. We don't go to outside gyms. We hire coaches and skills coaches to make sure that our kid, which is very unique in the cheer world. I know people don't probably realize that because most other athletic teams clearly are coached by their coaches. But in the cheer world, a lot of times you go to a gym and those coaches are the ones that do more of the skills training and stuff like that. But we actually do all of it in-house. We try to aid in the burnout and we try to aid in the burnout and fuel in the passion side of it, keep our culture very top-notch, keep our culture ones that reflects the school values, one that kids want to be a part of. And so they feel seen, they feel valued, and therefore they work hard. And so it's one that we are so excited for years to come because I truly feel like it's not a one-and-done national championship. We've really tried to invest. I mean, I know I personally spend over the summer and fall and spring. I mean, I'm there over 40 hours a week with our 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th graders, just working with them, teaching them the proper ways, teaching them the proper technique on top of the high school girls so that it just builds and builds for years to come.
Being your own feeder program, that's really what lends to success. So where were the Nationals held at this year?
They were in Orlando, Florida at the ESPN Wild World of Sports. I'm sorry.
So being on a stage like that, I mean, just getting to go to it is fantastic and a great experience for the kids and the coaches and everybody like that. But when you go there, when you kind of found out and they announced they national champion Middle Tennessee Christian School, talk about the euphoria.
Yeah, I mean, it was incredible, and I'm going to be honest, it has taken me a few days to get here because, I was so proud of these girls, and one thing that makes me the most proud is I am an alumni, and I worked tirelessly. I'm very passionate about our sport, and a white jacket of first place at Nationals was nothing I was even ever given the opportunity to compete at, which is why I did come back to MTCS after several years of getting coaching experience elsewhere and having some success in those ways. I wanted the girls within the halls at Middle Tennessee Christian School to have that opportunity to work towards those goals and to see some of these kids that have poured their life and passion into getting to achieve that was so surreal. But I'll tell you one thing I have learned about myself is that I truly hate losing more than I enjoy winning. So it has been one of those moments where it's like I am so happy and I am so proud, but the emotions and the gut-wrenching of losing was far more fuel-firing than the emotions of winning.
Coach, I think you just defined competitor, because that's one of the things that my oldest son, he's a swim coach at Oakland Middle and Oakland High School, so he's his own feeder program too. So I mean, I 100% get what you're saying. He mentioned one of his swimmers who she swam state meet last week, and that was what he said about her. He said, the greatest thing about her is she hates losing more than she loves winning. And I told him, that defines a true competitor. So let's roll this. I don't want to kind of spoil the victory here, but when you think about this homegrown championship and what all that means for Middle Tennessee Christian School and Middle Tennessee Christian School athletics, because it's a huge, huge achievement for you folks. but what about what's next? You know, I mean, when you think about the bar that you've just established, good news, bad news, I mean, now the expectations are there.
Yes, 100%, and we are well aware of that. But they are prepared. We're prepared to keep building and keep pushing. We're going to start a new team this next year that just keeps them, reaching and driving and striving. Because my ultimate goal for them is if they want the opportunity to move on to the next level, I just want them to reach their full potential in this sport, whatever that looks like. I want to encourage and drive and push, and we are very prepared to keep the ball rolling and to also keep our focus on making sure that their development and their training reaches this expectation every year.
Well, I think the thing about youth sports, and I've said this many times, is it's a training ground for life. And all these things that you're telling me allows me to understand that that's what you're doing. You're preparing kids for life. And success is one of those things that you just want to fuel more success. And it sounds like that's your mentality.
Oh, 100%, 100%. And I will say, it's been so inspirational in the fact that these athletes, too, this season, I mean, and I know that this is not necessarily a spiritual conversation, but, they did it, the way they challenged each other on and off the floor, just in calling out Jesus' name for their sake and their strength and their purposes, was just something that was beautiful. Mixed with that athletic talent was something I had personally never been a part of. So that success will keep going for years and years to come, and life lessons will be served in so many different areas outside of this win, whether it would have been a win or a loss. Well,
I think, Coach, that you nailed it. It's spiritual is what it should be, and I think it was. And congratulations to you and Middle Tennessee Christian School national cheer champs. Coach, anything else you want to add?
Thank you. No, I want to thank the community for their support, administration for their belief in all these girls.
Middle Tennessee Christian
School. I'm just so proud of them
Training
and
for
their hard work. There's nothing else I can say.
Well, that's Coach Brittany McCallum from Middle Tennessee Christian School. She's the head cheer coach there for the national champion Cougars. Congrats, Coach. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All righty. God bless, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
The large majority of our kids are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities, one or the other, and most are doing multiple activities.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
And that's a great preparation for life. How many of us in our life are just doing one thing? So a well-rounded student is a huge deal.
Invest in your child's future in a Christ-centered environment with many athletic and extracurricular choices.
Without a doubt, our students have the opportunity to be involved in multiple activities.
To find out more, visit mtcscougars.org.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating local athletes here in Rutherford County. Experts in joint, bones, and muscles. And with over 65 specialists, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit TOA.com or call 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life.
Middle Tennessee Christian School, training for eternity.
People love to see us on the schedule when they have a home game because our fans show up.
MTCS President Matt Tiller.
The way we travel is just phenomenal. Our parents and our community are fully engaged in our school. When we compete, we're trying to do it in a way that honors God. We want to win. We also want to do it in a way that pleases Him.
Providing Christian values and academic excellence in a nurturing environment. That's Middle Tennessee Christian School. Invest in the future of your child. Find out more at mtcscougars.org.
It's MTCS Cougar Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro.
Presented by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance. TOA. Live your best life. Online at TOA.com.
On FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And John Ding is back with you, wrapping up here, MTCS Cougar Corner. And I want to thank, we've been talking about cheerleading today. It's been a really fun day, and a lot of things going on at MTCS. Want to remind you that we're going to really close for spring sports are coming, and we'll be having them as our guest very, very soon, maybe as early as next week, who knows. But we are going to be, we want to thank everybody that helps with this show and Prentice Allsup Heating and Air. Dalton Barrett right here with me, and also want to thank Brian, of course, and Danny Brewer. And Brian usually does this close, so here we go. But he's on the phone. I can't help it. And I want to thank all our coaches, and like each and every Saturday. And I want you to be very, very careful out there today, and try to avoid as much rain. Just stay in if you can. It's going to be a really bad day to be out. So anyway, that's all that I've got. And we're going to see you next week here on Cougar Corner here on News Radio WGNS. So long, everybody.
This is a paid legal ad.
When a family member is